Hello, once again. That's the button. And welcome to another edition of the Crafters of, well, as you see in the previous video, we're building this oceanside resort. And this is actually coming along a lot faster than anticipated, yet absolutely zero amenities are part of it yet. And that's a problem. So during the week, this week at least, I'm going to set this part of it aside, and that part hasn't even been done on over there yet. One of the things I wanted this to become is a place where you could grab a horse and ride around, but there's nowhere to ride around, at least safely. And of course, we're going to deal with that. I'm sure we don't want to Norman Bates this whole project, so gonna put in a horse path and replant a ton of these trees surrounding the path, so that's not a thing. And the path is going to cross my path into my home, but I'm not worried about that. Probably way off to the sides where you won't see it too much. I will have a underground walkway so I can get to my home without issue and without obstruction. But what we want right now, I want to leave some room for a swimming pool and what have not. But right about here-ish or so, we're going to build some stables. I don't want the stables to be too close to the main building. You know, horsies and stuff like that making all sorts of noise, and if biological functions were a thing in this game, you don't want to be near something that stinks like that. So yeah, and like I said, in theory would be very noisy and something that people probably don't want to listen to in the middle of the night. Good. I got 2 of those already. So we're going to try and do at least a couple things. Not entirely on video, but I'm going to build some of the build the stables. I know where I can get some horses, and I have found in a junk in the my team's junk drawer. We have areas we can dump off unwanted items. We got 4 horse saddles that we'll use, and some golden apples to maybe, if needed, create some horses, and we'll at least have 4 of them around so that people can ride. Not going to make any pack mules or anything like that, because this is strictly an adventure-based type thing for someone to enjoy. And of course, this stuff will be the framing, and this is how we replant. I'll keep one so it doesn't populate the space that the current sapling is in, so I can just simply select it, plop it in. I'm not gonna, of course, bore you with all this wonderful tree choppings. So alright. Any more? Yes. But I'd like more so I don't have to lose my sight of the goal here. Alright, so somewhere in here I would like to, probably around here-ish, I would like to put in some stables. So this tree, no more. I may move it. See if there's any more saplings. Yes, there are. Good, now I can actually plant more of these trees. So I can probably build up the stables a little more. I have more than enough. Where could I put an extra one of these things? I know. Could always use a little more of this stuff. There we go. Extra tree. Why not? And you will be relocated here. And over here we'll start building the stables. Of course, going to make them a little larger. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more. Now I make them larger so that you can easily get in and out. Can probably even put more than one horse in here. 3, 4, 5. So we got our footprint, but we need to make our foundation. Again, won't bore you with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that all adds up. Alright, so actually I might move another tree. I'm not sure I want this right up against the road. See, because there, we grabbed a sapling we can use to relocate it. I'll put you right here. We could use this dirt. Because yeah, we don't want it right up against the road. I've also redirected the road. A little piece of it's still hanging out over there. So it goes around the property, and maybe I might put the swimming pool over here. I'm not sure yet. Some stuff over there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good enough. So let's see. Let's be sure we're safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. I'll just do that just to play it safe. I'm gonna get rid of those. I don't have a safe place to be. Wonderful. Alright, so before I cut the camera, let's go up, go into the office. We got at least 4 saddles. I definitely have golden apples where I could actually make the horse thing happen. I don't know. We'll keep that. Anyways, we'll be back when it's safe to start construction. And we're not going to bore you with the whole construction, just get the layout and what have not. Alright, did quite a bit of work. Cut down some trees. Built us a little bit of a stable right here with dirt paths. And I know I can get a ton of iron to make a dirt trail to go around the property, including a little more out that way. Take this whole chunk and make it something. But we kinda need some storage. But we don't have it because we need floorage. And we'll keep it the rustic look of the building over there, which have the same doors. Now I use doors instead of doing the double gate because when both gates are open it looks kind of stupid. You just have this post that's floating in midair and I don't like that look. It's just fake as anything. Anyway, now we gotta put in the floors and not too far. We don't want to do that. Put in the floors and let's see, how will we light this? Like that. Will that do us the job? F3 and I'm looking at the wrong blocks here. 10, 9, 9, 10, 11, 10, 9, 10, 11, 10, 9. Yeah, it doesn't go any lower than 9, which is great. Because we don't want a number lower than 8. Because then bad things will happen. Some of those bad things tend to go hiss and then boom. Nobody wants hiss and boom. So you get the idea what the floors are going to look like. And almost a completed stall. Need a place to hitch the horsey. We don't have that yet. But we got the finished stable. So when we come back, these will be finished. There will be a place to hitch them. Not that you really need to since they're in an enclosed spot. So it's not really necessary, but just for the effect, we'll at least have some hitching posts in there. And we'll get onto the trail system. Fun. Here's Coaster Mountain. That is from the first annex of the amusement park. Supposedly there's people already interested in building stuff here, which is good. Now of course there's a 1 block deep limit to dig because the coaster's innards kind of are there. Anyway, through this tunnel, although I still haven't really finished it yet, but in terms of the access point it's not finished, but in terms of the actual landscape and the land that's set aside, the B annex is ready to be occupied. And it goes all the way down to where you see the hill way down there, says the sheep. Over time I'm probably going to come here and slowly scrape away this, and this will slowly move out that way. That's far enough that way. And this is lit well enough, I believe it'll keep you relatively safe. I mean, if some green guy comes up to you along the fence, yeah, it's gonna go hiss and boom on you, but as I've said before, I think I did in the previous video, is anyone who builds here can go beyond the fence, above, over, through it. Just make sure that things that are bad can't cross. So what about here? Well, this area is well lit enough that nothing should come in. After all, the same thing kind of happens over here as well. There's areas that obviously the fence will not protect you from, like right up there. But again, it's all well lit, tested, what have not. And I don't think I showed you this, but we have a portal. Shows you Annex A, Annex B, and if you face towards the wall, you should face out at the next exit. Which it does. I gotta thank Creepers to Kill for redoing this. I originally put it way up there so as not to interfere with the center painting platform, which apparently they don't mind having their having my wall appear in their windows. That's why I did it up there. However, it interfered with someone else's build. I was just going to knock it down because it's just difficult, but she did it for me. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Anyway. Oh, no, not that one. Actually, that might be the one. No, that isn't. This is the one I wanted. Yeah, shows you how often I use this. Here we are at the teleport to the Outlanders, my little teammates. Not much to show you here, but what little there is not exactly little achievements either. Some sort of sorting thingy over here. I'm totally not sure what that is quite yet. The circular road. This big giant thing that I've featured before is either very close or it is done. I think it's very close, but not there yet. I've contributed to this, not as much as many people might like. Yeah, see, look at that. See, it's supposed to look like this. I'm getting fairly close to getting all the gold that they need. Still a lot of work to get done. The whole center part's done. I forget where they get this idea from, but they got it. It's not an original thing. Not a big deal, right? And somewhere over here, yeah, there it is. Also very close to done, but I don't think it's there yet. Depth Strider 3 makes crossing easily. The elephant. This is supposedly going to ultimately be the town hall. It's where our storage is going to be. And they don't know I'm recording, but it's not that big of a deal. There's still no way to get inside, at least. Go. Okay, just wanted to say hi. Yeah, I don't see a way in yet, so it's either a teleporting, it's either a portal that goes into it, or there's a hidden way. I'm not sure. Heard it's pretty nice up there, but I don't have a way to get up there. I'm not going to try and find the way up there in case they don't really want that shown yet. This looks like it is something to do with aforementioned elephant. And they made the old mistake of putting the bed right up against the wall. Well, sun's not out yet, or not down enough yet. So let's go back to the hotel that I'm building and show you some things I've done there. I've done quite a bit. It's looking a bit overly complicated, but in actuality, it's not really as bad as it seems. Really cool stuff, though. Well, before we get to the hotel, it's getting a little dark. There's people on the server and lots of thingies that are really sucking up the bandwidth. Anyway, this is the safe house. We've mentioned this before. I think they've moved the bed that was in here. Yeah, they made the mistake of putting it against the wall, but we'll see if that'll matter or not. Because I know for a fact, in certain angles, or at certain setups, if you wake up from a bed that's next to a wall, you'll take damage. Which is why in my builds you see that I have the bed 1 block away from the wall. Over there you'll see... let's not get into that. We'll just leave it at that. You know my story about what happened there. If you don't, not going to really get into it here. The sheep have been moved away. A new road has been built to match up the bridge that goes to the hotel, which then connects to the orange road that originally connects what was supposedly going to be the slum area, which we apparently do not need. More crops there. Crops there. Still got our squishers here. Fortunately, after powering up quite a bit, people came back, fought it, and within like maybe 10 blocks of hitting the town, they got rid of it. Like I said, I got a lot of heat from people. I've been called an ahole, shall we say, by certain people. But many of you who know me know I will tell it exactly as it is. May not be pretty, but I tell it like it is. But that's not the important thing right now. The important thing is, A, the town is safe, which is why it moved here, because of the wither there. That's a nice looking map. Someone spent a lot of time making that. There's that mini house that I built a while ago. And before I get off the recording, I want to see if these beds will cause damage, and if it does, I'm going to move them again. So yeah, that's in the last video, that's the little house that's supposed to be the childhood home that I was in. There's the bridge that goes to the resort, but what they wanted is the town center, and it almost is in the exact center if they put in these 3 panels. Let's see what happens with this bed. Now, on this server, you can sleep the night off with other people playing. It's a slow process, but it works. You can see it in the windows back there. And will we take damage? The answer is no. Okay, it's working. Those don't need to move. Alright, time to head to the hotel. Here we are at the stables. Nothing changed with the hotel. And we've got a horseshoe kind of shaped trail right now. Let's exit there, entrance here. Norman's Trail, not liable for death or harm. Adventuring off trail. Norman's. Do you get the reference? If you don't, I'm sure Norman Motel will be enough to give it away. I do not help those who are not willing to search. Anyway, it's a trail. You notice it's double fenced. And that's for a reason, is that if you're along the trail and you're along the edges here, this fence is far enough away from you that our green cuddly little friends can go right up against this fence even when you jump and will not hiss and boom at you, so you're safe. And then we got this, got some water that's along some of the trails. This here, every now and then I'm going to include some breakaways that so that these long winding trails are ultimately going to go everywhere. will not cut people off from parts of the map. I also believe that instead of this, in spots, I will have a tunnel that goes underneath. So, again, not to cut people off from the outside world. And the trees that are lining this trail are permanent. The ones that are along the street is for lumber. And as you can kind of see, I kind of have a double box here. A trail will go that way. Another trailhead will go that way. And you can see more trees lining the path. There'll be another row of trees to help get the creep factor out of there. Trail that'll go that way. But we got the basic trail all set up. And see here, this lines up with the other set, which goes right to my home. Again, I'm going to tunnel underneath and make life a bit easier. Another watering hole. And it ultimately comes out here on this side. Same thing, Norman's Trail. If you're old like me, you definitely get this reference. If you're too young, like I said, Norman, motel, that should do it for you. Not gonna help you with that. Speaking of horse trails, there's kinda something you need when you're riding a horse trail. And those are horsies. We need horsies. There's 3 or 4 of them out there that are just running wild. We're gonna capture them and put them in here. Which, by the way, if I haven't shown you in the previous videos, the finished stalls with 2 places to attach a horse. Although you know that the leads will ultimately break, hence the doors. So, okay, sun's good enough. I'm gonna... Okay, we need materials. So, we have 4 of these and 4 of them. And we can move right now. I think we need an anvil inside our maintenance area, which is in the attic in this part of the hotel. So let's go get us some horsies, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to cut the camera because we got to go a little ways. Okay, mission accomplished. We got horsies. Got a black with spots. A very dark brown. A gray. And brown with spots. So we're going to give them a name so they know that they're renting a horse. So this one will be Rent a Horse Mo. This one will be Rent a Horse Curly. This will be Rent a Horse Larry. And if you're getting the reference, you probably know which one this is, even though there's more names I could use. Rent a Horse Shemp. And if you don't know the reference, I'm either way too old, or you're not well versed in Hollywood films. Let's just say that much. Hollywood short films, which have also been on TV. Not so much anymore because of this political correct, dumbassness the world is in nowadays. I ain't going into a political rant. We got all these trees we got to knock down except for those lining the trails. We got all the horses named and taken care of. While we're at it, cutting some of these trees down bringing it over to the house and putting it in a stockpile so I could build a very small stable for the horse and the, I was going to say mule, but the horse and donkey that I have, so eventually I can have a mule. So I finally decided what I am going to do with the, as Popeye would say, the inside interior of this building, the main part. Still not going to build the front desk yet, but I definitely want to make the lobby a little safer to go up and down the stairs. Let's see. I'm going to need some of this, I am sure of that. I'm going to set more of this stuff aside. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. That should be fine. We will need some of this, some of that, and put that in there. Some of this as well. And we'll be back. Well, it's been a while. I finally got the exterior done. Yeah, the grounds, they need a little work. Anyway, as you know, I'm going to get to this in a moment. You know that I am building the Norman's Trail, and this is a protected trail for the most part, where when you're in here, that outside of spiders and skeletons, nothing can hurt you. You can get right up here, jump up, creeper could be on the other side, no hiss, no boom. So, and that's referring to a couple of dragon fights that happened, and you hear the end result even if you're not in the end. Anyway, built a pool. And as you can see, it's obviously not filled, and it's at the 10-foot mark, which it is a little under 3 meters. So when you fill it up with water and it's ever so shy of hitting the top, now we're okay. Yeah, a very upper right-hand corner. Chunks aren't rendering till right about there. Then a little bit up top, and now it's filled. Anyway. The water line would be 10 feet, plus if you fall in, you don't get hurt. And of course, this is the waiting area. Anyway, we've got a fence to build, and I'm thinking of going along with the same design as this, except I thought I heard another footstep. You know, server lag sometimes. And plop. Except we're going to use these for the posts. And there will be the rail like that, the top like that, but here will be the same orangey wood, but instead of the windows, fence gates. Haven't quite decided on the divisions as of yet, but for the time being, I'm gonna go with I don't know. Right here, there'll definitely be 3. Part of the pool disappears there. And that would just leave as it is. Now the question is how to divide this up and how will it look? Come back when I get that done. So here's what it kind of looks like. A little lighting along the bottom to kind of keep the grounds a little safe. And on each corner facing the building, an entry. And it goes on to a nice patio, which there'll be some beach chairs along the sides in spots. And there will be diving boards, a couple of them on this side for the deep end. So we got that. And still cutting down trees to make a protected trail all around this, what you call it? Savannah. This particular section of Savannah. Which there are a couple of tunnels so that this doesn't completely block off anyone's travels. And plans also are that trails are going to go beyond here and out in the world, but they're going to be open trails. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do this whole protected trail thing everywhere. It'll be pretty much like this, except every so often there'll be some torchlight to keep things lit. And you'll be 100% responsible for your own personal safety in these particular areas. You gotta do a little terraforming to make it a little easier to travel. It's just gonna be a paved trail similar to these cut-in dirt roads. So, our primate overlord who runs this server, on the 18th of October till Halloween 2017, it is believed that amongst other things he's going to do on the server, as I collect some of these, is that we will be plunged into eternal darkness. It will never get sunny till Halloween is over. So at that point we'll be pretty much doing interior work, because I'm just that good at this game where I can go outside at night. Okay, I think I'm getting all of these that I'm gonna get. So what I do with these is I plant them on this side of the road. I used to plant them on the other side, but now that it's being used for cover, yeah, that works there. These are primarily for cover. Kind of give it a little privacy. A little. I mean, you're still gonna see out. And now I'm working on this side and meeting towards the middle. So you got a single layer here. So what I'm doing is I'm popping in some trees. Okay, get rid of this. That's just not going to grow. Yeah, that's realistic. That's a little better, but now I can't get out of here. That can change. There we go. There, now it doesn't look like it's just standing there. Now we're working on this half. You can see it's kind of a little barren. No, too close. A little bit of coverage there, a bit there. Okay, this one's not going to grow. Yeah, I'm not going to put one there because this was the above ground version of Mouse Please, an egress route from town to my house. However, that was sort of rendered obsolete with this tunnel, which goes to the polar opposite end of this entire trail system that's going by the house. And none of the future expansions in the savannah are going to affect my way back home. In fact, I need to put a fence in as well. Sun's going down. Thought I'd show you that stuff. And ooh, another one. Where am I going to place this one? As we go around trying to figure out places to put things. We're not going to put anything right here because it's planned to go out that way. Same here. Not too much this way either. We've already planted some of them out this way. I think we need to do the interior. There we go. I'm gonna head home, gather some more materials for working on the interior. Like I said, we got all the guts, the physical structure built, but we kind of need a little more than that. So we're gonna sleep it off, and I'm going to stop the video during that moment. And when we come back, it'll be time to do interior work. Alrighty, it's been quite a few days. I am going to start, I'm thinking as I'm doing here, starting with the interiors because our primate overlord, until Halloween, has plunged this server into eternal darkness. As you can see, if I hold my view perfectly still, you can see that the moon is not budging. Time has stood still, and I was going to do something a few days ago, but one of the little tricks that our monkey friend has done was some magical effect, I was going to say potion, took over. You'd see all these blue little swirly things, and then you'd float in the air and drop. So I got underneath something like this, and then just left for a couple days. So we're relegated to the interior right now, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to do some of the interior work. We're not going to bore you with every little bit and piece of it, but I figure, you know, let's get a few things done, see what it looks like. I know the white will look pretty decent, no problem with that. And I'm going to start building out the rooms, at least the physical structures. And I totally forget that, not that it matters at this point, that the fourth floor is kind of disconnected because of the way the building's built. And one more. And down. It's because of the way the beams are, there's no way to continue. A little sacrifice for a little realism. And we're almost there. Oh, we're there already. And of course I gotta do something about this pit. Alright, that don't look too bad, especially if we stand in the corner and look. Now, one of the things I was not thinking of when I built this place, and ultimately thought of later, are accent walls. And the thing is, the way this is built, there will be a doorway here and a wall here, separating the common area from the bedroom. And on the wall that the bed is going to be placed would be an accent wall. And the way that would work, it would be where the headboard is. In this case, it would be on this wall, then that wall on that room. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work too well for this and the outermost one, because, well, let's just show you. You know, I don't know. Maybe that will work. Kind of breaks up the monotony a little bit. I think we can let that slide. Yeah, it adds a little detail because this is an oceanside resort, so I thought it was going to look really, really, really out of place, but actually not all that bad. I know it looks a little weird in the hall, but that's more for the exterior, this part. Yeah, I think we can get away with doing that, and every other wall will be like that, which means, as I said, for the exterior wall, quote-unquote exterior, the one with the hallway will also be blue. Be interesting to see how this all comes out. Meanwhile, speaking of things coming out, let's start building out some of these rooms, and I'll show you what the physical structure will look like. Okay, we got that. We aren't going to need that. We'll break down some of these. And where the door is will be the little doorway. Okay, yep, we can break that. As for lighting, pretty basic. Take that out. And we'll do the... Yeah, we'll do the same thing here. Oh, and apparently we're in ultra hardcore now because you can see my food meter is completely full, and from the dropping incidents, I'm only 4 hearts deep. Now we're going to look at the light level, 5th line from the bottom on the left. The light line, we're looking at the block number where it says 10 block. We don't want that going to 7. That looks good. Now how about over here? Alright, that's all good. So this is what it's looking like, and where there's a bare floor, there will be carpet, same color as that. The beds will be the regular shade of blue. Carpet, as I said, will be this color, and it will be wherever there isn't furniture, which includes this. That'll be hidden, so it won't look so dumb. And that's what we got for you. We'll be back when we got something else to show. Oh, and as a byproduct of Minecraft limitations, the beams there and the beams there for the exterior doors, that's gonna be a thing. Alright, it's not one of my longer videos, believe it or not, which says a lot about how quote-unquote short they are. Alright, we got just the interiors of the finished, and I don't remember if I mentioned this already or not, but the blue seems to work. And I gotta do these quote-unquote fire exits. These have to get done, needless to say. I might be moving a torch over there so we can put a pair of buttons there so that we can open the doors. So yeah, Got the accent wall. We got this. We got tons of wool for other projects besides inside here. Here's the little makeshift, I shouldn't say makeshift, the little check-in desk. There's the desk, keys and what have not. You know, use your imagination. Still got to work on the lighting because I'm sure that this isn't going to suffice. And I actually did finish the floors in here. That's what they look like. Storage there. No door yet. Elevator shaft. Couple of rec rooms. I still have a piece of wood where a piece of glass should go because I ran out of material and never bothered finishing it. Not sure what to do with these empty spaces quite yet. There's another room. Alright, we're coming out here. I think we got to the point now that we can clear out these trees and put in something I would want to put in. This is the pool area. I could use some lounge chairs. And when the place is close to open, I'll fill the pool. Not going to fill it when the place ain't open. And still, those are my the trees I cut down for saplings and lumber and what have not. And I'll show you when we get home that the first part of this trail is pretty much over and done. We got that. I'll see you on the when I get home. Alright, I'm outside my house. One of the things I was going to do in this video, and it's running long enough that I'm not going to, but in the next one, I should remember this time, is we need to build a stable for that guy and that guy. I'm thinking I'll have a single or maybe two entries and exits, one on each side, and then in the middle will be the stables. Probably put it in this corner over here. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, because there seems to be nothing much over here. Anyway, as I am going over here, show you that I finally got the coverage for the horseshoe-shaped trail all done. And once I've done that, my goal is outside of beyond that hill over there, I'm not going to go beyond it, is where I've left some open areas in the trail where it looks like it'll continue. I'm going to make some extra branches that'll go around, and so that people are still going to be able to get around on foot on their own for their own adventures. Every now and then there will be a gate similar to, I don't know how Pixelation's gonna do on YouTube, but before I made the tunnel to home, I have a gate system here and directly parallel over there that I use to get home. I'll have similar gate setups like that, and carve out a trail, a small trail with dirt like that, so you can find your way around and pretty much go through unimpeded, and I don't want to hurt anyone's travel. And I have changed how I'm going to go about the external trails going that away past the resort. It was going to be fenced in just like this, but then maybe people might want to use the land out there. For the best of my knowledge, nobody is. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it an open trail, meaning that it's going to be carved out like that, but there won't be any fencing. It's 100% at your own risk. Building's looking pretty good. Need to figure out what to do with the lighting up there and down there. And gotta get all that stuff started. So that'll be it for this particular video from the Craft Theory server. And I'm going to spend some time putting it together and then calling it good. Do some work on the resort, and then show you what I've been up to while the video's been processing and what have not, if I'm still working on it at that time. So anyway, that'll be it for this one. George F551 saying, hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.